Hello and welcome to Mind Your Mind podcast. Here in Mind Your Mind podcast, we talk about life, mind, heart, universe, everything and nothing at all. Of course, I'm here as always with Ozan Kulchu. Hi, Ozan.
Hey,
And today we have a guest amongst us who is Dr. Kanikka Behl. She is a research professional with a PhD in biotechnology. Kanikka's personal experience and journey through life challenges highlighted the importance of mental health and self care, inspiring her to integrate certain practices into her life. She recognized the value of self reflection and mindfulness, which became essential tools in her path to healing and resilience. Her story emphasizes the transformative power of self coaching and overcoming adversity and fostering personal growth. We are excited to have you today, Kanika. How are you feeling?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys? Hi, Henna. Hi, Ozan. I'm good. Don't ask me
Hello.
how I'm feeling. It's very hot in Delhi.
Yeah, I've heard about that a lot. My whole
Yeah.
family is in Delhi, so yeah, I know how it is.
stay hydrated.
Yes, that's the only thing we can say, and that's the
Yeah,
best we can do.
Yes. Just have a bottle nearby. Drink water. That is what keep yourself hydrated.
yeah,
True. I think that's the first self care tip that she has already given.
yeah.
All right, Dr. Kanika, we are looking forward to listening some general things, but at an with a professional point of view that you have. Uh, of course, we all know that self care is important, but
Yeah.
how and why and to what extent we can do it ourselves. We know that uh, going for a professional coaching or therapy is definitely costly, and it's
Yeah.
not too friendly on the pocket,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's the only resort. And
Yeah.
this is a sensitive topic. All our listeners might, there might be some listeners who are already going for coaching or therapy, and we want to also relate to them, but we also want to talk about everyone else who can indulge in self-care at home.
Yeah.
So tell us more about your experience in this.
See, I'll just give you a gist of my backstory. So, my journey up to this point of time has been quite transformative. Um, a few years back, I found myself in a very tricky situation in my marriage, and I'll admit that it was a very dark phase. So, it was a time where it was filled with a lot of pain and fear and anger. There was a lot of feelings involved. And I think this is where the domino effect started. I lost my job, I failed a marriage, and then there were endless reasons. And the next thing that I know, I find myself surrounded by darkness. So accompanied by panic attacks and anxiety attacks. So going to therapy was my the first thing that my brain thought that yes, I need to go to therapy. I need some professional help. But I think going to therapy made me also realize the importance of self care and the normal day to day activities that we can do that can affect your mental health and move you towards mindfulness and just peace and harmony, that your brain can remain calm even when you're not at your therapist. So self care is what I will call it. So like you care for your body, you have a routine for your body. It's a routine that a lot of people do, but it's a routine that I personally made up for my own mind, for my own sanity and for my own peace. So that is how this journey started. I'm still a newbie and I'm still learning every day. And one day at a time, as Rocky Balboa said, one step at a time, one day at a time, one round at a time. That is how I'm taking it.
All right. And what are the certain things that you have employed, certain techniques that you have employed for yourself as well as for people around you?
See, when you talk about self care is basically, basic definition of self-care is any routine that soothes your mind. Okay, any practice that can soothe your mind, right? So day to day is so when I end my day, right? I Before going to sleep, I take a bath. Okay, it's a very simple procedure. When we wake up, we take a bath, right? So what does taking a bath do to your body, right? So it reduces down the stress levels that you have endured during the day. Okay, so it's reducing your cortisol's level. Once your cortisol levels are reduced, your stress is reduced. A lot it's gone, but there's a slight relief that you have, right? Then, so when you're taking, when you feel that warmth of water and the sound of water trickling down and the aromas, if you're using any oils, it calms you down. Okay,
Mm,
and it calms your senses, and so when you go to sleep, you have a peaceful sleep. So this is
right.
one of the activity that I do. I since it's very hot these days, I keep myself hydrated. So it's a routine that I've trained my mind to follow. I do journaling, I do art therapy. And it's not something that I practice consciously. That today is Monday, I need to do art therapy, or today's Tuesday, I need to do music. This is something that I've inculcated in my daily routine, and I've over the last 2 years I've made it a part of my life, and then it feels like second skin. It's almost as if muscle memory. I wake up and I have these we Hindus do these chanting, we listen to mantras and all. So I have this very beautiful 18 minutes of Krishnji chants. So when I'm
Mm,
getting up and I'm preparing my breakfast and all, so the mantra, it's music therapy. So
right.
it's playing there in the background, and you're all in your Zen mode. So when you start your day with Zen, the pressures of the day, you can handle them quite well. So that is how I started it.
Right. So this is the approach that works for you. And I'm
Yeah,
sure like this is not a one size fits all thing because each individual is different and uh,
that,
it's a process of self discovery as well.
yeah,
So, uh, I know like there are certain well known people. I read a lot about Oprah Winfrey and she has been doing journaling since the age of 15,
yeah,
and she also starts her day uh, with meditation, a 20-minute meditation. So I think these are the techniques that she talks about a lot. She advocates them,
yes,
uh, but not everyone has time to be mindful all the time, and sometimes you forget that mindfulness can solve my problem here.
yeah.
So do you have any tips for people to figure out what works for them?
See, if there's one thing that I learned during this journey is that mental health, everybody's mental health is different, and it's a tailor to each its own. It's like that. It's a tailor-made uh, routine that you have to follow. So something that's working for me might not work for you. But then there are a lot of skills, a lot of routine exercises that one can do, such as breathing. Okay, like Oprah does meditation, so does Beyonce, right? When she is meditating, Beyonce, when she was promoting her album Lemonade. So Harper Bazaar, I think Vogue or Harper asked her, what do you do, Queen Bee? And she
Hmm.
simply said, I simply meditate and breathe. So it's the type of breathing that you do. Once you go into the types of breathing, there are many breathings. Like there's a technique called box breathing. Where you inhale for a certain time, then you hold it, and then you exhale, and then you hold it. So if you do it for the same amount of seconds, like you inhale for 4, put it on hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then put it on hold for 4, you are just creating a box. Similarly, there's another technique called the 4-7-8. You inhale, then you hold, and then you exhale. So this
Okay.
can be changed. And 4-7-8 is just not one number. You can do 5, 10, 15, or whatever, how much is your breathing capacity, depending upon your breathing capacity. That this is simply breathing. Or you got the 8-8-8. So there are different breathing techniques involved. So catering to what suits you, which one are you, like my mother practices this breathing technique. So she does the 26-13-28. I
Okay.
lose my breath only if I have to inhale for 26 seconds. I
Yeah.
can't do beyond. 8 or 9, 10
Yeah,
full high.
it would cause more stress to you rather.
Yes, and my mother also got into this habit with me, and then she started the art of breathing, is what I call. So anything, any new activity we start, we name it the art of whatever the activity is. So then she started this art of breathing, and she has this, she's my mother, but she's the most peaceful person, calm person I've ever seen in the last 32 years of my existence. Like she's more calmer now.
Okay,
So
that's
breathing is one technique. Okay, so if you're comfortable breathing at a certain point, you can surely increase. And not only has this calmed her mind, but I'd also like to add. My mother's a diabetic. Okay, so this has also reduced the sugar levels. Also, my mother's sugar, she was hyperglycemic. Okay, she had high sugar levels, fasting sugar levels, so the glucose levels have decreased. It has decreased significantly, and like she has also met with after the consultation of her physician, she's reduced her medicines also.
mm,
So it's good, and you're not doing anything but you're breathing, like you, me, and Ozan are doing at this moment. But if you consciously time your breath, so you can actually, reverse any diseases that you're carrying also. So, this is one of the examples. Breathing is one. Another part is journaling or doodling that I do. So this started during my PhD days. PhD is is another topic. It's like Pandora's box that I'd not touched. So, and
mm.
you have got stress in the morning, stress in the afternoon, stress while you're going, you're logging off from the lab, and it's just a stressful environment 24/7. Okay, and so journaling is something that I started because I was in this, I had the urgency to do everything at one point of time. I wanted to do everything simultaneously, and this multitasking led me nowhere. I was finishing everything, half finishing everything. So it was like I was jack of all trades and master of none. At the end of the day, what did I achieve? Nothing, 100%. It was always 70% of one task and the other and third and the fourth. So when I started journaling, I started jotting down the points that what was my to-do list for the day. And
Hmm.
it started with okay, simple tasks. I knew that I could break down a complex task into small problems. So when you do that, it automatically calms your mind, and it eases you to do a particular task. Like you're not tired. And at the
Hmm.
end of the day, I think by the time I was pro at journaling at that point of time, I used to create fake tasks so that I could have that, increased number of writes at the end of my day in the diary. That, okay, today I've accomplished 15 tasks or 20 tasks.
I'm guilty of this. I
Yes.
too am guilty of this one. It gives you an adrenaline rush that
Yes.
you have completed so much work today.
Yes.
Just to increase that number of ticks on your to-do list, you
Yes.
add
So,
certain things that were just like just just
so it,
done
so
like
it is
that.
as simple as call a particular vendor. Okay,
Hmm.
and even if he did not pick up, I used to give a ride and say he did not pick up. It's not my fault. He didn't pick up. I called him.
Okay, okay. I think that's interesting. And Ozan, I was reminded of our episode with Dr. Mark Halpern while she was talking about the breathing
Yeah.
technique. Because we have recorded a full episode, a whole episode on just the relevance of breathing and what is the right way to breathe, how to focus on our breathing. So that was with another guest, Dr. Mark Halpern.
Yeah, with the heart
And
mind coherence. I think,
yes,
yeah.
heart mind coherence, right? So I think we all know this, but at the time of when we really need it, uh, I don't know what happens. Like, Ozan, what do you think? Like,
Yeah, I think it can really like these self-care things, the tool set, what I call it, can really be lost or forgotten if you're not really regularly, frequently using them. So for example, like uh all these breathing techniques, what you have said, actually, Kanikka, like the box breathing or breathing and then breathing out very long time. They can be like very good tricks in different times. For example, box breathing is really good if you're really stressed out or you're panicking. It can really help you calm down. The SWAT teams are using it, for example. And for example, I used to do that too when I was stressed out. But all the while, like I stopped doing that because I just forget. And when I stressed out, like I stay stressed out. But I think the important thing is to regularly do these things, the breathing practices, at least once a day. Then, as you say, Kanikka, it kind of becomes a part of you. It's natural for you, and you don't forget. You don't have to remind yourself that okay, you have to do this because it's a natural part, you know?
Right. I think this is exactly what I was coming to, that uh, we know some things, but it is important to include them as a part of your routine, which is, of course, the self care routine that we talk about. And for every individual, the routine may vary, and it's a uniquely designed routine by you yourself for your personal growth and your personal well being. But the whole thing is that we need to figure out what works for us, and that's the first step. And for that, I believe we need to experiment with everything. Like,
Exactly.
we hear so many techniques, but I don't know what works best for me. Like, sometimes I do doodling and it relaxes my mind, but sometimes doodling just creates a lot of mess in my head. So even if I put doodling as a part of my routine, it's not going to help, because one day it might work, the other day it might not. It keeps changing, it keeps evolving. Your routine is a dynamic thing, and it's not comparable to other people, what
Yeah.
they are doing. Like, there's no point copying.
But
So
it's good that you mentioned that it's actually good to try these things and see if it works for you. For example, like back to your point about journaling, like I was kind of resistive all the while to the journaling because like what's the point of I know writing down things when I can just think about them, right? And I started like last year journaling, and actually it gave a whole different level of self-awareness to me because like when you sit in that mood to write down, then the thoughts start to flow, but you don't really have this while you're just sitting and trying to figure out your emotions. But if you write down and you visualize what emotions you're having, you create new patterns. So it has become my self routine actually. Like I do it like every day, and it has really changed my life. A simple thing, but it did, and I was resistant to that. I was forced to start doing that. So it really makes sense to go ahead and try the breathing techniques or meditation. So many people are kind of resisting to that, right? Like they don't think that it's going to work for them. But until you try, you don't know. And if it
yeah.
works, then apply it every day, right?
See, like Ozan, some people like to exercise and hit the gym when they're stressed, right? To me, gymming, even if I have to, even if I have to run to save my life, I will not go to the gym.
Yeah,
But
ditto.
yeah, I
Traumatic
cannot.
experience, right?
Gym gives me stress. Okay, gym is a stressful exercise for me. I tried gymming. Okay, I tried gymming. I think I'll get into the whole body positivity thing, and I lose weight, and when you look good, half of your problems are just solved. Pretty girls do not have problems. And I tried gymming. So I went religiously, okay, and I was really okay. I will go, with all filled with determination, that one day, if I'm going to the gym today, I'll lose 10 kgs today and come back a different figure altogether. But trust me, I cannot go to the gym even if I have to save my life.
Right.
Gym is something. But for
I totally
someone,
get you of that.
yeah, but for someone you, for example, if you want to go to the gym, you can go to the gym because it might be, it might help you release the endorphins that you want, and it helps to calm you down. But so that is what exactly what I was saying, that this self-care toolkit that we're talking about, this is actually tailor-made. The first line of psychology says that every human mind is different. Okay, and every mind is a different case altogether. No two minds are alike. So same way it goes for the therapy to the self care toolkit, right? What might suit me would not suit you or would not suit Henna. So for this,
Mhm.
I think the crux of the whole matter is that we need to introspect and we need to understand what makes us happy and what makes us sad. Like doodling or journaling. That see, with three different people, you journal, I journal, Henna does doodling. So our techniques of doing one activity, which is journaling, is completely different. Okay,
Mhm.
you would want to express your thoughts and write it down. I decorate it with washi tapes and sparkles and colorful pens, and I make drawings. And Henna might just simply do a black and white sketch. So
Mhm.
there's this one technique which is doodling or journaling, and we have three different people who are using three different approaches to how to tackle this, just to do this activity.
Hmm.
So the aim is same, that we need to, all of us need to calm our mind. The approaches are different.
Right.
So even if we're talking about breathing or you going to the gym, or for you running might be a good option. For me, walking is the best thing to do. You make me walk and I'll walk. I can
Mhm.
walk close to 5 kilometers. But you tell me to run for 2 minutes in the gym on the treadmill, I'll be like, thank you, sir. It was nice meeting you.
All right. So I think experimenting is the key here.
Yeah,
And but for someone who is desperate at a moment to who is seeking help at the moment and is not able to get, for them I think experimenting would only add to the stress.
yeah,
So uh, that's why I think it is important to figure out what works for you, at what time, in what situation, beforehand. And when you are in your sane and calm state of mind, that's the right time to experiment, that what
yeah.
works for you. But then again, if you are in a sane and calm state of mind, you would never know what is working. So
Exactly. But you
so
can
how
always
do you,
see, you can always introspect and retrospect, even when you're at the calmest, to understand what's working and what's not working. Of course, I understand that when you're stressed, the mind goes blank and you just don't want to do anything but just to lay in your bed under your blanket, and you just want to behave like an ostrich. That since I have my head dug inside the ground, everything around me is okay. That's carefree. But unfortunately, life's not like that. But I think the main thing, the main message that everybody needs to understand is that let it be. Like, it's okay. It's okay if you don't want to go to the gym. It's okay if you don't. If you're not good at doodling, or it's okay if you don't want to do a certain activity, and it's okay if you failed at one. You tried, you gave it your best shot, it didn't work out. What's plan B? If I can't paint, but I can sketch. I can do color, paint with sketch. I can color with sketch pens, or with pencil colors, or with crayons. But if you tell me to paint a certain thing, I can't do painting. It's another form of art.
yeah, and I think most importantly, it's okay to feel a certain way.
Yes,
That is the bottom line, because once you accept what you're feeling, that's the first step to solving the issue.
I think half of
We-
the problems are solved.
right. It's important not to reject the feeling that is coming, or the emotion that is coming in. uh, just to gracefully accept it, say yes to it, that okay, I'm feeling in a certain this way, and I have been feeling this for a while now. My rational mind is not working at the moment, I know. So I cannot figure out an alternative or a solution to this one. But let me just be okay with it. Like, okay, fine. I know that I'm feeling this way, and I am a human being. I'm bound to feel all the emotions. And it's okay if I'm feeling this way. Give yourself time. And in that time, I think your rational brain starts to recover,
Exactly.
and you get back to your senses, and that's when is the time to, do something, some of the experiments, and do an activity that works for you to come out of that spiral.
Yes.
I mean, so you made a good point there. Like when you really don't feel like today is your day, sometimes everybody has those days, and you reject that feeling. You're also stressing yourself out, like you're sad or kind of a little depressed for some reason, and then you blame yourself for it. So you feel a little bit of guilt for feeling that, and also feel like stress that you have to do something. So it's 10 times worse now, right? So if you just accept and let yourself be, then you can consciously find activities where you will feel good in, either by distraction or by using self-reflection. Only if you're relaxed about it, not stressed about it, right?
So I'd like to share an incident that occurred, okay? So I had a very bad day at work during my PhD. It was like I just wanted the day to end, and it was unfortunately not ending, okay? So this is stress pro max, and everything is just, at their maximum level. And I'm literally counting the minutes for the day to end. So I sit on my desk and I do what everybody does: how to feel happy at work. Okay, I Googled it. Simply, I went to Google and I Googled it. And it gave me an activity, which I now find it very funny. But at that point of time, I was like, that this is a discovery that Einstein should have made, or this is something that, this should be patented or something like that. So this I don't remember what site it was. It was a very shady site, I'd like to say. And basically, the message said that if you're feeling sad, what you do is you take a wooden stick or a pencil, okay, between your teeth, okay, and then you just put it between your teeth and you let it be for like a minute or two. So this will fool your brain into thinking that you're happy, and the brain will start releasing happy hormones. Okay, and I was like, yes, I'm a scientist. I need to try this. This sounds very scientific to me. I will definitely try it. So there I am with tears, sprinting down my eyes, and with everything with a pencil in my between my teeth, and I'm just sitting and I'm looking at my watch and literally counting down. Okay, okay, 1 minute. The timer's there. Okay, so I'm counting down the seconds. That 1 minute. So 1 minute passes, 2 minute passes, 3 minute passes, and I'm like, where is the miracle? The miracle is just not happening. What is happening? And I started to laugh.
Oh,
Right?
that's nice.
This is what the site said that would happen.
Hmm.
And here
And if
I
you're
am
doing that
thinking,
at work, I think I bet you made the others laugh as well.
oh no, so exactly. So now when I tell it to people, I actually took a selfie and I uploaded it to Instagram that very instant. That look, I tried this scientific experiment and it actually worked. Google hacks worked. So till
Right.
now, this has now become an ingrained memory, because this is something that I tried. It gave me a sense of happiness. It may be false, it may be pseudo happiness, but at that moment of time, I needed something to make me happy, and it made me happy. So now that memory, every time I'm stressed and I need to de-stress myself, and I simply put a pencil here or a pen here between my teeth, and automatically it takes me down that memory lane, and I imagine myself sitting at my very table and chair crying, and them laughing hilariously, and my colleagues are looking, what is wrong with her? One moment she was crying, now she's laughing out of her eye. What is wrong with this woman now? So it's
Yeah.
a happy memory. So I think visualization, and when you tap back into your positive memories and such memories which give you a happy outcome, that also helps.
Right.
So if you keep visiting your positive moments, something that when you were stuck in a similar situation and something that worked out. See, today if I'm stressed, that it may or may not work out. But I have this scientifically proven evidence that it did, because it worked in the past for me.
Hmm.
So this is something that I do it consciously now, because I don't want to tap into my memories, because then it starts that chain of thought. You're here one moment and then you're on Pluto and then you're on Venus. Oh, Pluto! I'd like to share this anecdote. Okay, So I was again in not a good phase. Okay, I've been in a lot of bad phases throughout my life. I'm realizing this through this podcast. Okay, so I think I've been practicing it since the last 10 years. I thought I was a newbie here, but I've been practicing this, developing this self care toolkit since the last 10 years. So I was sad one day, and I was like, my life is leading nowhere. My work is going nowhere. My PhD is just not completing. Nothing's working out for me. Matlab, why am I even living? I was having that midlife or quarter life crisis at that point of time. So again, the best part is to either go to Google or to scroll Instagram. Okay, so Instagram was pretty nice back then, not like today's Instagram. So there came a post about Pluto.
Okay.
So, when we were growing up, we were taught that there are 9 planets in our solar system, right? My very educated mother just showed us the 9 planets. We have this
Yes.
anagram, right? So,
Yes.
if you talk about Pluto, Pluto is like the farthest planet, okay? So, in I think 2006, I may or may not be right with the year, but in 2005, 2006, scientists, some of the better brains in this world, said that look, Pluto is very nice, it's very small, it's not a planet. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and what did Pluto do? Pluto kept on rotating, Pluto kept on revolving. He basically, if you were Pluto, you said, okay, I'm not a planet, I'm cool with it. Okay. And then the following year, again, a statement was made that no, Pluto is a planet. So, welcome back, Pluto, you're back into the solar system. Then, what did Pluto do? Pluto kept on rotating, Pluto kept on revolving. So the bottom line is people will come and say something to you today, and they'll come and say something to you which might be 110% contradicting to what they said the previous day. Okay? And if you let it get through you, and if you let it get to you, you will simply fall like a pack of cards. So this
Right.
is this is one anecdote that I tell a lot of people, like be like Pluto. One
I
day
love
he was
that
a
thought.
planet. Yeah, one day he was
That's
a
a very
planet.
interesting take on something which
It
is
even
relatable
has
to
the
anyone.
heart on it, the Pluto's heart,
Yes, and yes, so then again that post came that Pluto has a heart now. Why? Because it is hurt when you say that it is not a planet. So don't be too harsh to Pluto.
Okay. Hmm.
Suddenly, one planet which has got no link to us.
Yeah.
Okay, it may or may not have life on it, but suddenly we're accusing a whole planet that we're not a planet. We're giving that planet an existential crisis. But what does Pluto do?
So the moral of the story is be like Pluto. Keep
Be
doing
like
your work.
Pluto.
Yeah.
Exactly.
keep
Mind your own
rotating.
business and let the naysayers say whatever they
Yeah,
want to.
exactly. So where if and this is one thing I think everyone should practice. If there's something who's pointing their fingers at you and you find yourself at the shorter end of the stick or you feel cornered, be like Pluto.
Mhm.
You learn from Pluto. It's there. Even after we're dead, we're gone, and our generations will be there or not, Pluto will still remain.
Hmm.
Pluto is unaffected. So be like Pluto. And the unsaid message here or the hidden message here is that you should not let which is very difficult actually, but you should not let what anybody else is saying to you get to you. Because once you let it get to you, then you're a prisoner of your own thoughts. Then you'll start procrastinating or the negative thinking will start and then you'll spiral down till the time you have realized okay, by the time you realize that you're at the bottom of the staircase, and then you have to again do that step by step journey again and again and again, which also is okay. It's
Hmm.
okay to fall down, get up again.
Right. Yes, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
Exactly. No, even if you give them their consent or not, nobody wants to feel inferior with or without consent.
Right. So, uh, like you mentioned this example from your life, and you came across this post, and it made you, and the other one also, which makes you laugh every time. The putting the wooden stick in your mouth. I think these are the techniques that may not work as techniques, but they work for an individual when they get into get into a fun or a light-hearted moment, and when you're reminded of that moment again, that's when your mood lifts up automatically. So I'm sure our listeners will have certain anecdotes of their own, and they'll be reminded about those anecdotes after this episode or through this episode. I'm hoping so. And yeah, so I think the bottom line is that self care is important. Crafting a self care routine is important. Uh, but identifying what works for you is something that you need to do every day,
Yeah,
every time, in every mood. And also, it's important to remember that your mental health is linked to your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and they are all connected. All these pillars of self care are not individual pillars. They are all interconnected to each other, and that's how we should remember. Like, for some people, gymming works
yeah,
because it not just boosts their physical health, but it also directly impacts their mental health, and that's
exactly.
how they see things in perspective again. uh, right, so thank you. I think that was a good and insightful episode, Kanika.
Thanks.
Definitely.
I
Our
just
funniest
remembered an
episode so far, I think.
Yeah, I just remembered another anecdote, that I keep on practicing when when I'm under one of those situations. So there's this thing called the shoulder tapping. Okay, you guys need to do this. Okay, so when you're sad, okay, when you're just feeling let down, and there's no one to hug. Okay, so hugs are technically scientifically known to improve one's mood. Okay, it gives you a sense of security, or a sense of love and affection is what it gives, right? And so you can't expect a hug at work from a different colleague at a certain point of time, okay? Until and unless he's a good friend or she's a good friend, right? So what do you do in that condition? Okay, what do you do? There's this activity that I read somewhere, and I practice it every day. So it's called tapping your shoulders. Okay, so when you're feeling down, when you're feeling sad, and when you're feeling that there are certain moments in the day when you're like, "Can I get a hug, please?" Okay, just so that somebody gives you that reassurance. Okay, so you don't have to be dependent on somebody else to give you that reassurance, somebody else to validate your feelings. You can do it yourself. So you start alternatingly tap you can tap your shoulders like this and this and this and this. Okay, so this again makes your brain, it gives a false sense of reassurance. So it releases those happy hormones. Okay. And then again, it's a false sense of security that the brain gives to your heart that everything is okay. It's a reassurance that you were waiting for from some other person. You've got it from yourself. It's one activity that I keep on doing. I've named my shoulders. Okay, I've given them two Hindi names. Okay, so I've named my shoulders that I tap this and I tap that. There's a good shoulder, there's a bad shoulder. So when you see cartoons or animations where you have the good side and the bad side, they're nothing but your shoulders, trying to tell you that you need to tap the shoulder. So this, and it works. You keep on doing for like 30 seconds or 15 to 20 seconds till, and it calms you down. You just need to, touch your shoulder, give it a slight, touch, okay, and pat on, you pat your shoulders, and then it will be like good. 15 seconds and happy hormones are there. They're there to save your day.
Interesting. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ozan, do you have any uh, parting thoughts, questions, anything to ask
You know what
Kanika?
insight I had while she was talking? Like, it was very fun to listen to you, Kannikka. So thank you very much for coming here. But
Yes,
it
I
Thank you.
agree.
really impressed me how you also use the humor to, lift your mood up. Like, and this is something we haven't touched before, but it's so crucial part. Like, you can just make yourself feel better just by, I don't know, laughing at yourself sometimes, right? So that really lifted me up. So thank you for the tips. Thank you for the amazing conversation.
To our listeners, I would like to say that if you want to create your personalized self help toolkit using books or apps or any other practices or techniques, reach out to Dr. Kanikka Behl, because she has experience, and most importantly, she encourages you to experiment and find what works best for you. That is what we have gathered through this episode. So, yeah, Kanika, over to you.
Yes, I have scientific evidence with me that yes, it will lead to happy memories, and then your happy hormones will be here to
Mhm.
save the day. And I think if anyone wants to reach out, I'll be happy to help. More than happy to help someone, because at this point of time, when you're down, all you need is that one push, to help you out. And if I can be able to do that and help out a person in need, I think my purpose is solved.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's what we all need to do. Just go ahead and take charge of our own mental health. And I think, yeah, that's the need of the hour. All of us need it at some point of time. And it doesn't make us weak, it only makes us stronger.
Yes, it's okay to not be okay, which is a Netflix show. Everybody should watch it.
Thank you for that tip again.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Nice meeting you, Kanika. Nice talking to you.
Same here, guys. Bye.
All right.
Bye.